My name is Forlesia Cook. I'm a lifelong Washingtonian. My grandson, Marty William McMillan Jr., was tragically murdered in Washington, D.C. on April 23rd, 2017. Marty was my firstborn grandson. We were very close. My world turned upside down the day he died. It felt as though everything had gone dark and even breathing became painful. We had no answers. It seemed like no one really cared. After weeks of not hearing from anyone, I was shocked to learn that no one had been assigned to Marty's case at the 5th District. My own family investigated, solved the case. On Marty's birthday, January 11th, 2018, my daughter received a devastating news that the coroner had Marty's remains. It was found on the side of the road on Suitland Parkway. It had been 9 long months since we had seen or heard anything. I was told that they couldn't charge my grandson's killer with first-degree murder. He shot my grandson in cold blood 7 times. And they didn't consider that as first-degree murder. They act like we would be lucky if we got manslaughter. The bottom line is that murder in D.C. is treated as a joke when it comes time to justice. My Marty killer received only maybe 16 years, which will likely be served concurrently with the time he was already serving for the charge of guns and drugs. In total, he may end up doing just 10 years in an actual jail. And 5 of those may be probation. How can that be? After years of waiting to go to trial, the judge, after hearing my family's impact statements, asked the killer if he had anything he wanted to say. She said to him, "It must be a stressful day for you to have to sit here and listen to all of that." He killed our loved one. And after everything we went through, they seem to be more sympathetic to him than us, the victims. How long do we have to suffer? This must change. We need to stop killers being sentenced with minimum time, allowing them to come back out and potentially kill someone else. This is wrong. Someone needs to change these laws. I don't care who makes the changes. It needs to happen. I'm simply asking for someone to do the right thing, please. If you take a life, you should serve a life. That's my opinion. A life sentence. It's just that simple. I'm grateful for President Trump, and I am, for hearing my voice as he's doing something to make this thing safe. I can see the total difference since President Trump been focusing on D.C. I'm more comfortable being here. I feel safer here. I know others do too. I do. Thank you for listening. And it took this administration to address and have me heard, allow me to be heard. I appreciate thanking and everyone that took the time to hear me, because no one heard me before. I did rallies and marches. I stood in the Department of Justice. I went to see Mayor Bowser. I asked him to help. And my family did not get justice, and nobody heard me until now. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you.
Mrs. Cook, you read an impact statement at the sentencing of your grandson. Please explain what the judge said after you read your statement, and do you feel that justice was served?
Thank you. Thank you for the question. We read our impact statement. So let me tell you, Marty was so loving my family. We had at least 30 impact statements. And after we read them, she said to us, "Thank you for your impact statements." She looks over at the, I say killer. She looks over at him and she says, "Is there anything you'd like to say?" His attorney stood up and said some things, but she says to him when she asks him, "Is there anything he'd like to say?" "I know you had a stressful day after listening to all of that. Is there anything you'd like to say?" No, we did not receive justice. He was given consecutively or concurrently with the time that he was charged with guns and drugs. 10 years. Okay, so concurrently, so he had already did 4. So now how many years does that mean? That he get 5 years probation or on parole? So how many years does he actually do in jail? This is a heinous murder that he committed. He shot my grandson 7 times. He left the room and my grandson moaned. He went back in there and shot him more.
Thank you, Mrs. Cook.
Thank you.
Senator Taylor, many on the left have pushed for further gun regulation to combat violent crime. We're seeing on these soft on crime cities. What are your thoughts about gun ownership? In your opinion, are more regulations needed to keep our communities safe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I would say is that we need to remember the purpose of the Second Amendment was not about what kind of guns we can have, it was about what kind of government we can have. And what citizens in Memphis are fearful of are the guns that are on the streets by people that shouldn't have them. If you take, for example, Mr. Chairman, this picture here, this is a group of young men in a convenience store posing with long guns and handguns so that they can have a picture for social media. It's these type of pictures that I want to try to stress, because they don't have these guns because we don't have enough regulations. They have these guns because they don't follow the law. And we can pass all the gun laws you want, but criminals are criminals by nature. And we've had that problem since Cain slew Abel with a rock. And we don't need to continue to put restrictions on law-abiding citizens who just simply want to protect themselves in their homes.